Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm here in Miami and I'm delighted to be joined by the one and only Chris Algieri. Chris, you've got a busy week ahead of you working for Matchroom and DAZN and all this sort of stuff. How are you going to find it? How are you enjoying Miami then?
Well, I mean, I live up in Boca, so I'm not too far. I just kind of drove in. But yeah, it's an exciting week. I mean, this is the biggest fight of 2021 so far. So being involved any way that I can is always exciting, man. I love boxing, so it's great to be involved.
You and me both, brother. You and me both. Now talk to me about your job and why you're here in Miami and the sort of like job you're going to do this week for Matchroom and stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of the Undercard fights and kind of preview those, as well as going over something, a very special feature called the Final Cut about what fighters go through in terms of the weight-making process throughout the week. So I think that'll give great insight for the fans at home to understand what the fighter actually goes through on fight week. We're going to be highlighting Mark Castro and his weight cut this week, and then I'm going to be calling the Undercard fights and calling the action on Saturday night.
Looking forward to it?
Cannot wait. I love calling fights. It's great to learn about the fighters on the way up, and then I get the best seat in the house.
Definitely. Well, you said you're going to call the undercard fight. What fight stands out for you? I mean, there's loads of prospects. You've got Alexa Espino right there. You've got Diego Pacheco over there as well. I mean, two young, up-and-coming prospects who are doing all the right things so far. But which fight for you on the undercard excites you the most?
You know, working personally with Mark Castro, of course, I'm excited to see him. I'm excited about how he's going to transition that amateur skill set into the pro games. But then, you know, Espino is from RBGA, so I used to train at Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy as well. So I know how those guys train. I know how those guys bring it. So that's going to be a very exciting fight.
The main event itself then, Canelo. I mean, I'm going to go back to San Antonio against Callum Smith, and I just want you to give me your thoughts on that fight itself. Were you disappointed in Callum? Was Canelo just too good? What was your thoughts on that fight?
I think I was disappointed in the lack of action, but I was also very impressed with Canelo's game plan and the way he was able to execute. I think he just fought a perfect fight. You know, he was able to really neutralize the size and reach of Callum Smith. I think this is an entirely different fight, though.
Yes, Yildirim, the fight that we're all here for. Now, give me your thoughts on that fight itself. Yildirim is a lot. I've spoken to quite a few fighters and people around the hotel. They haven't seen much of Yildirim, but what do you know of him, and do you give him a chance against Canelo?
So I know actually a pretty good amount about Yildirim from down here in Miami. I've seen him spar over at Fifth Street Gym. You know, he's first of all the size. I don't know if you guys noticed at the when they had the face-offs. He's got a couple inches on Canelo. He's a bigger guy. He's a very physical guy too. So he's going to come forward. He's going to throw. There are times where he's going to be there to get hit, but also he's going to be in the pocket trading. So it's going to be, I think, more of an action-packed fight.
Canelo wins for you then, I guess?
I'm going to say Canelo by stoppage.
I mean, Billy Joe Saunders is one of our own. He's a world champion, and it's penciled in. It looks like he's going to be fighting Canelo in May out in Las Vegas. Now, Billy might be here this week. We're hearing he's here this week, which I hope he does come because Billy likes to cause a little ruckus. But your thoughts on that fight? Do you give Billy Joe Saunders a chance to get somebody like Canelo? I mean, he's southpaw, slick fighter. I mean, it's something Canelo's not faced readily. I mean, he's faced the big guys before on Kovalev and Callum Smith, orthodox, but southpaw, slick, same height, might be something different for him.
Oh, absolutely. I think Billy Joe Saunders is a phenomenal fighter. He's a fantastic boxer, and I think that he has a lot of the points of his style that gives Canelo trouble. He's had trouble with southpaws in the past. He's had trouble with guys who are boxing who are slick. So Billy Joe Saunders does all that, and also he's got a strong build. He's a physically strong guy, not a huge puncher, but he's a strong guy, strong man. So I think that's a very interesting matchup, and I 100% would give him a chance on that fight.
I'm going to have to press you then. Prediction?
What's that?
I'm going to press you for a prediction.
I would say. I mean, it's tough. You know, going off their last performances, I'm going to go with Canelo.
Going back to you then, Chris. I mean, you're doing quite a lot in boxing now. I mean, you've got a nutrition. I believe it's like a cookbook. Yeah, and I'm yet to get my hands on one, so I'll look forward to it. Definitely. Just tell me why. Why did you go from boxing into sort of like the nutrition game and a cookbook and stuff like that? Have you always liked cooking?
That actually came first. That actually came before my boxing. It was basically I learned about nutrition for making weight for myself. You know, it was self-serving, and then cooking kind of just cooking just kind of came along with that. You know, I spent a lot of time in camps. I liked to cook. It kind of made me relieve or relax. You know, after a hard day of training, and then obviously it goes along with nutrition, making weight. So it kind of all just came together, and basically everything that I've done has served me in my boxing.
Do you work? You mentioned there you work with Mark Castro. Have you worked with any other fighters in the past? I think I saw you in a fight, but I can't quite remember who else it was.
Daniel Jacobs. We did 5 camps together. Daniel and I.
Phoenix, Arizona. Is that right?
Well, way before that, we were Triple G at MSG. I helped him with the Canelo fight. I was involved with Derevchenko when he won the title again. That was a great experience. We did a lot of work over the years, and he's a guy that I've known from the New York days for my whole career. So.
Any other fighters working with you?
I've worked with Sullivan Barrera in the past. I'm not working with a whole lot of fighters now because I'm trying to get my own fights going. So when I'm focused on me, I can't be focused on other people.
You're fighting again, is that right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
What weight class?
140.
Still 140. You're still making it easy with. Well, I guess the nutrition helps.
Yeah, but also as a lifestyle. I stay in shape year round. Like I'm in shape now. I always stay in shape. I like to. I still like to spar. I still like to train. So, it's time to get back out there.
Since you're in the 140-pound division still, and since I'm a Scotsman and one of my fellow countrymen, Josh Taylor, looks like it's penciled in again for May against Jose Ramirez. Now, don't upset me, Chris. What's your thoughts on Ramirez versus Josh Taylor? Be nice.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we want in the sport. It's a unification bout. We got the 2 top guys in the weight class right now. I don't like that everyone's undefeated. Why is everyone undefeated? They should be fighting each other. So this is a great opportunity. But I think that what Taylor brings to the table is going to be too much for Ramirez. I think the boxing, the southpaw, and also he's a physical guy as well. He's got a good punch. He's got that pedigree, and I think that we saw in his fight with Postal he had trouble with a boxer. So I think if Taylor can use his skills, he can make that fight go his way.
Thank you. Was that for my benefit, all that?
No, I speak the truth. I say what I believe. I think Taylor is a very, very phenomenal fighter, and Ramirez is as well. I think it's just a style matchup.
Being that you want to fight again, is there still burning desire and the will and the want to be a world champion again?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I didn't want to be a world champion, then I wouldn't do it. I would pack it in.
Finally, before I let you go, why should the fans tune in to DAZN? Why should they tune in to the Matchroom YouTube channel to watch Chris Algieri do his thing this week? Why? Why should the fans tune in?
Because you're going to hear some things about inside of fighters from a fighter, about the fight game that you may not hear otherwise. And then also we're just going to be calling great action.
Good stuff, Chris. As always, pleasure to speak to you and enjoy Fight Week, my man. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.